Hello everyone and welcome to the video abstract for our publication in Current Biology on the socio-ecological correlates of Neophobia in Corvids, led by myself, Rachel Miller, and an international team of corvid researchers across 10 research labs. I've been interested in Neophobia, so how animals respond to novelty, since my PhD research with common ravens and carrion crows at the University of Vienna. And I've worked extensively with corvids, both in zoos and academic research facilities, rearing my own research study birds in Vienna and Cambridge, and also working with New Caledonian crows in the wild.
Neophobia is important. It underlies a lot of animal cognition and behaviour, and impacts on how animals interact with new things, like new foods, objects or predators, including humans. This has implications for adaptability, and therefore survival, including in endangered species in our ever-changing world. Although Neophobia has been studied in several species previously, including corvids, there are very few large-scale comparative studies, other than a study by Metke, Hoffman and colleagues in 61 parrot species. We decided to focus our research on the social-ecological drivers of Neophobia, as these are not clear because there's variability both within and between species. Corvids are intelligent. They often perform comparably to primates, including children, in cognitive tests. And Neophobia in corvids is particularly interesting to study as they're typically highly neophobic. We tested 10 species of corvids with 241 subjects housed in 10 research labs worldwide. We selected two simple tasks: novel food or novel object beside familiar food, relative to a baseline of just familiar food alone. And we were most interested in latency to touch familiar food. We found that there were species differences in neophobia. So for example, the Eurasian jays were much more food neophobic than the other species that we tested. And we then tested how 7 social ecological factors influence neophobia. And we found that the use of urban habitats, adult sociality, so whether they're territorial or living in family groups, their maximum flock size, and their caching behaviour, so this is hiding food for later, so whether they're moderate or specialised cachers, influence object neophobia, while range, so whether they live on the mainland or an endemic, their hunting of live animals, and their genus, as corvus or not, had no influence. And maximum flock size influenced food neophobia. We also found that individuals were typically repeatable in their responses, so they behaved consistently across time, so between test rounds, as well as context, so between the different conditions. So this means that a bird that approached the familiar food very quickly in the novel object condition also did so in the novel food condition, and they did this on each trial over 6 weeks. These findings are important as they highlight that there are interspecies variation as well as stable intraspecies variation in neophobia in corvids, indicating that this reflects a stable personality trait. We also show that neophobia is driven by specific social ecological factors. So for instance, living in an urban environment where animals encounter a wide variety of novel items, including human-made litter, can reduce neophobia, potentially due to habituation to novelty. Presence of conspecifics or group mates also influences neophobia across species, reducing object neophobia potentially due to increased risk sharing. Neophobia is a useful measure in animal cognition, and it can be critical to the design of conservation initiatives, such as how animals might respond to new environments or foraging opportunities during reintroduction and translocations, including and especially concerning the preservation of vulnerable endangered species. This study established an international multi-site collaboration of corvid researchers, opening up avenues for future collaborative research on the evolution of cognition and intelligence in these and other bird species.
Thanks very much for listening to our video abstract. Please feel free to contact me with any questions or if you're interested in potential collaborations. Thank you.